Alrighty, we're live. Hello, everyone. I am Amy Carrier, and I'm actually trying a new setup today with my... Oh, that's funny. It just asked me if I wanted to tag my friend Ashley Lucas in this video. Apparently, I look like Ashley Lucas, which I kind of do. She's gorgeous. Hi everyone. I have a super exciting lesson today, and it's a lesson where, once again, I'm going to be introducing you to something you definitely want to know about. So I'm going to ask for everyone. Hi, I see we've got a few people here. Welcome. Would you please tell me why you're here and where you're from in the comments before I get started? I'm super curious to know how far our reach is now. The last time I counted, we have members in Amy Carrier's classroom from 79 different countries. Can you believe it? 79. It's incredible. So let me know where you're from. Hi, Matt. Hi, Robin. I know you guys are more local to me, but please do write in the comments where you're from so that everybody can see where everyone's from. Thank you. Hi, Zafran. How are you? So let's get familiar with each other. Zafran, please tell us where you are from. I know where you're from, but let's tell everybody else. And I'm super excited. I don't know why my doorbell is ringing. It's probably a package delivery, but you guys are way more important right now, so I'm not going to interrupt. I'm going to ask that everybody take a moment, like I'm doing right now. That's why I'm looking down at my phone. To share this video, because I'm going to be introducing you to, I'm so excited about today. I'm going to be introducing you to two new mentor teachers in my virtual classroom who are going to be teaching you leadership skills, cross-cultural communication, career building, and career skills. And these are not people who are fading flowers. They are doing such amazing work all over the world. They are world renowned. They're helping tens of thousands of people. And I am so honored and so excited to meet, for you to meet them today. So Leila, how are you? Thank you for sharing. Hey, Alex from Sweden. Thank you. Please take just this time that I'm doing this to write where you're from. And then I'm going to look through the comments to see where everybody's from. Excuse me, where everybody is from. Like I said, I'm super excited about today. This is my weekly lesson time in my virtual classroom, and I am using this time, which I do sometimes, to, rather than teach my lesson, introduce you to incredible people who are going to be teaching you their lessons, which are all completely in alignment with the mission of Amy Carrier's classroom. Hello, Umar Farouk Mufti, how are you? Jill Kemp Milton, Alami Muhammad. Hi guys, where are you from? Tell me in the comments, where are you from? I'm trying to see just how global we are today, and this is going to excite you because the new mentor teachers are, of course, just like students in my classroom, extremely global. So I want to be sure that they know where you're from, that I know where you're from, and that we definitely get this live introduction moving in the right direction. So thank you to those of you who have shared, and thank you for writing where you're from in the comments. Like I said, I'm going to look at that in a minute. I'm not quite going to start until we have a few more people here and people who are telling me where you're from. All right, Pakistan. Hello, Adil Mughal, how are you? Aw, thank you for saying that I'm sweet. I appreciate that. So let's see, we've got Pakistan. Leila, did you write where you are from, my friend? It is my sincere goal to have Leila here as one of your mentor teachers. I'm still working on that. Leila, why don't you share where you're from? I know where she's from. See, that's the thing. I like knowing where you all are from, but you all want to share so that everybody else knows. So let's do that really quickly. And let's see. Robert Myers, how are you? Please tell us in the comments where you're from. Oh, you did, Leila. Thank you. Leila's from Brazil. So let's see. I'm so excited, guys. So I am just waiting for one person, and she is our new mentor teacher, to tune in here and to request to join this video right now. And this is actually new to me, so thank you for your patience while I figure it out. So how is everyone? I've missed you guys. I was here last week, and that ended up being a lesson that didn't quite go as planned. I wanted to bring in one of my former students. Hey, there's Arthie. Okay, Arthie dear, how do I, Arthie, are you watching on your phone? Okay, I see that I can bring in Jan. Hey, Jan, can you share your phone? Oh, wait, there's Arthie. I can't add Arthie. She doesn't have the right kind of phone. So, Jan, can we use your phone to introduce Arthie to the world? What do you think? Can I add her that way? All right, let's see. You know what, guys? This is just what happens. We just kind of have to figure things out as we go. So Jan, hold on. All right. Yeah, this is not. All right, if you guys hear a sound of my video playing, that's me trying to set everything up. So thank you for understanding. And I don't know if Leland's here, but I think Leland would know how to figure these things out before I do. But hopefully, Jan, we can use your camera instead. So let me look for a comment here. Arthie, can you ask Jan? I don't see it in the comments. Can you ask Jan if he can put you on his camera, on his phone, whatever device he's using right now? Let's see if we can make that happen. All right. So I'm actually going to add you, Jan. Bring Jan on camera. Yay! Guys, Jan is incredible too. Write in the comments if you actually know who Jan is. He is Jan Roberts. He was one of my Rockstar Entrepreneur interviews. And I want him to be a mentor teacher in the classroom as well. And there's so many people, but it's a process. It takes time. And I want to be able to introduce everyone. Uh-oh, Jan, how come I can't bring you in? Okay, well, today is all about introducing the new mentor teachers. And Arthie, are you on your, yeah, Jan declined. So Arthie, are you on your mobile phone? It says I can't. If you see a little button that says camera that's asking to join my live video, can you click that, please? Or give me an update in the comments. Just trying to sort Arthie, Jan says. Okay, good, thank you. So let's start with the comments here. How is everyone? Alami Muhammad says, please help. My friend, I don't know what kind of help you're looking for, but this is why we're here. We are here to help. So stick around today. And let's see. Jan, it looks like we can get him on. Let's add him as a guest. Forgive my hand in front of the camera. Trying to do my best with the technology that we have. Jan, it looks like we can get him on. Yes!
Wait. Wait. Oh,
Forgive my hand in front of the camera.
Hi.
Trying to do my best with the technology that we have.
Let's switch that one off. Or you can use that one.
I'm just trying to see if we
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great. How are
I'm
you?
sorry. We're just battling with our phones at the moment. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You're here, and that's what matters. So
So
everyone,
we've got
this
phones. Jan has mine and I've got his.
you've got his, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever we can do to get you on here today, your name is associated with the description on the video, so I'm not too worried about it. We will certainly figure out how to make this work. So, hello, Miss Arthie. How are you?
Brilliant. Always brilliant.
Would you tell us where you are tuning in from?
I'm in a different city at the moment. So I live in Johannesburg, but we're 6 hours away in another part of our coastal cities in Durban, South Africa.
Nice. Oh my gosh, guys. So this is exciting because Arthie is our first mentor teacher from Africa. And she's the first mentor teacher, obviously, from South Africa. And I'm super excited to have her here. So Leila is saying that collaborative broadcast is only for iOS for now. It sounds like, so are you on an iPhone now, Jan's iPhone?
No, we both have got Androids.
Oh, really? I wonder
Yeah,
what
the
the issue.
same thing. We both have got the same phones.
Interesting. Okay, well, we've got you now, which is the exciting thing. So hello, my dear. I'm so excited to have you here. Oh my gosh, everyone, this woman is so incredible. And I am just honored and delighted that she has agreed to be one of the incredible team of mentor teachers in Amy Carrier's classroom. If you're watching this and you're not a member of Amy Carrier's classroom, it is a classroom I created last summer, about 6 months ago. And it's a free virtual classroom online through Facebook. It's just a group on Facebook, so you can go to facebook.com/groups/Amy Carrier Classroom. Request to join for free. And what's important to me is that I expose you to the most brilliant people I know so that you can learn from them directly. You have the opportunity every single week to learn from them live. If you don't catch them live, you can always tune in later. But I want you to have that opportunity to communicate and ask them questions in real time. So Arthie has agreed to this grand experiment I've been doing with all of your other mentor teachers like Alex Bertlin and Julia and Hassan and Darren, and it's incredible. So Arthie, thank you. Tell us why you wanted to join this virtual classroom.
Yeah, I've been following a lot of your work since Jan was on your classroom. And what stood out for me was the meaningful questions you asked of him. And to me, that made sense. There are a lot of people who do Facebook Live connections and connecting with each other, but very few has got the depth of impacting somebody with the sole purpose of touching somebody's life and helping them to be successful based on the people that come into your classroom. And a lot of people have asked me to do Facebook Live for the last year or so, and I refused based on the fact that the integrity of the people that do this is huge to me. Because when you're asking questions of a person, whoever is answering, they do not realize the impact of the people who are listening in and how many more lives you could be touching or damaging with your lack of experience or with the lack of thoughtfulness in answering. Because some people just speak for the sake of speaking, but your questions and the way you guide somebody definitely has got the intention of helping that person to move forward in their lives. So for me, it's imperative that when I speak to somebody, my intention should always be pure and with the vision that whatever I'm talking about should be relevant to that person or the people that are listening in. So I'm actually grateful for this opportunity because I believe that this is the continuation of a journey of touching millions of lives. And if we can all come on board with that same intention and the same vision, then it's going to be mind-blowingly awesome. So that is why I'm here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so honored that you said that. That's incredible. This is exactly why I do this, because I believe that there has to be integrity. There has to be a way to get really important knowledge that's relevant to today, to 2018, to 2019, to 2025, not just what is delivered as rote and accepted as, yes, this is the right thing, this is just what everybody needs to know. So much has changed in the last few years. I mean, the sheer fact that you and I can have this conversation today is brand new. So are we, at the same time that we're teaching content, which is really important to me, are we also teaching that integrity? Are we also showing people how to be the best version of themselves, how to be responsible for what they are saying and sharing and communicating in the world? And I didn't know that you were going to say that, but I completely and totally agree with you. I mean, I'm not surprised, once again, that you and I agree. This is actually one of the things that I've been trying to figure out how to teach about, because there's so much noise, there's so much media, there's so much, busy traffic on the web, and especially on Facebook. And how do you actually sift through it? How do you find the quality? How do you find something that's going to actually improve your life? If you're spending 30 minutes or an hour of your valuable 24 hours each day watching a video. And that's my commitment to the whole world right now, to say I vouch for every single one of the teachers in my classroom. I believe that what they are teaching and what they share is of very high quality and is extremely valuable to what everyone needs to hear and learn right now. So thank you for that. Arthie, tell us what you're going to be teaching and when you're going to be teaching, and how we can join you and how we can help.
Well, one of the things that I've realized from my personal journey is that for the last 20 odd years, I've embarked on a journey of discovering people, their cultures, what makes them unique, what makes them feel respected as human beings, what makes them feel honored and valued as a person. And at the end of the day, what are some of the techniques and tools I can use to impart knowledge and experience to other people so that they can be at the same understanding or level of understanding as I am. I'm on a growth path, continuously learning and developing myself, always looking at how I can transform myself before I can fill others. So there are a few simple concepts that I have developed. There are the 3 E's, which are really imperative in terms of self-leadership before you can lead others. And it's embrace the past, evaluate your current situation, your present, and then evolve. Where are you heading in life and why? And so one of the things in my classroom with you and your amazing students is going to be imperative to start to discover, how do we embrace our past? What are the lessons that's holding us back? What are the self-limiting beliefs that prevent us from moving forward? Because it doesn't matter how amazing we are in setting goals and resolutions. In fact, I spoke about that today at a keynote talk. And the key thing there is, if you are not aware of what's limiting you in your belief system, how can you move forward? So let's look at awareness. Let's look at our conscious, subconscious mind. What programming do we need to unlearn from our past and then relearn how to recreate our future? But then, in order to do that, we're going to have to evaluate where we are right now in our present. What skills or tools or techniques do we need to move forward? So the whole 3 always comes together, and for me, that's important. And I use a simple saying that means a lot to me. As I was talking to people, this just felt right to say it this way. Always say to people, never ever come down to somebody else's level. Bring them up to yours. However, I always have a however, right? So never come down to somebody else's level, bring them up to yours. However, if you are not evolving, what are you bringing them up to?
Exactly.
So if you are not changing, adjusting, creating, developing, enticing your own self-growth, understanding where you are, challenging yourself, how can you learn to influence others? How can you impact other people's lives meaningfully? I'm not saying that you cannot. I'm saying you will. But when you set the intention to be more meaningful in your interactions, when you step into anybody's space, you have that intention that the second you connect with them, your intention is to help that person grow or feel so awesome that they were in your presence, that they will leave feeling good about that whole interaction. There is a reason they feel like that was worth it. Whether you made somebody smile or you touched their lives or you saw what they're not saying, like looking at people's pain, that means intuitive thinking, right? And so for me, being intuitive means that you've got to have a self-awareness that far surpasses where you are right now. But to do that, you've got a very deep sense of, you have to have very deep sense of self-awareness. So those are some of the things that I will talk about in our leadership training. I know that I'm booked for 12 p.m. New York time. Did I get that right? On a Saturday. Yes. That's going to be when our classrooms start. And the other thing that I thought would be really relevant is to talk about compassionate leadership. So compassionate leadership means that we're looking at how can we develop our intuition, but at a different level. So it's our thoughtfulness, our kindness, and the gentleness in our words. It is in the way we use understanding of where a person is at and helping and guiding and supporting their growth to get them to the next level. So compassionate leadership will include communication, communicating effectively, understanding people's cultures, religions, traditions, ages, genders, their educational levels, educational backgrounds, what makes them unique as a human being, and then how can we entice their growth going forward? Because you can actually disconnect with a lot of people without even realizing, just based on the fact that you use the wrong nuances, the wrong tone of voice, the wrong body language, the wrong eye contact. Maybe it was a word that was a trigger. But if we don't understand the respectful side, how do we respect people in the way they wish to be respected? And if we can explore that in our classrooms, people can now find a platform where they can speak with confidence, feel like it's a safe and non-threatening environment, and get to the point where we now connect as human beings with the intention to help and grow and support each other in this development phase. So it is a journey that we're enticing people on, not to walk alone, to know that they do not walk alone, to know that in these classrooms, we all walk with them side by side, and we're all looking at how we can best guide them, how we can share our experiences, and how we as mentors can learn from every single person who comes into these classrooms, from their comments, which are really important. We get to learn from them. From the people that actually share their experiences in comment boxes, we get to experience with them. They get to guide us as mentors, which means it is a two-way process of growth. It's not a one-way thing. This classroom is going to be kick-ass, awesome, and amazing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be intriguing. It's going to be mind-blowing. And there's going to be a lot of thoughtfulness, but a lot of growth, because my intention is to make sure that every single person I interact with is going to leave our classroom feeling so proud of who they are as a human being, regardless of where they come from, and know that they have got the opportunity, ability, and every skill to move where they are right now to where they can be in the future. And that is being guided by us, with us, and people around us, and together we are going to do this.
Hallelujah. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, yes. Now I feel like she's incredible, isn't she, Jan? Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. You are definitely my sister. I mean, you're several thousand miles away from me, but you think like me. We talk the same, we have the same beliefs, and I was sitting here beaming listening to you, and I'm like, she gets it completely. And this is what is so important to me. And what you're talking about teaching is really a universal language. Body language is a universal language. The intuitive knowing that someone else feels comfortable or not, or is tuned in or not to what you're saying, that is a universal language. Yeah. So I'm so grateful that you're going to be teaching this. And I feel like everyone watching this, all of the students in the Barriers classroom, and if you're not one yet, just go over to the group, answer the 3 simple questions and join us, because Arthie is one of almost a dozen mentor teachers right now. And you're going to meet another new mentor teacher in just a few minutes here. But what Arthie is talking about really gets at the very heart of what I personally believe in and what I want this classroom to deliver. We have to teach technical skills. So I'm so grateful to people like Leland Best, who are teaching, they're teaching video broadcasting. That's very hard skills. I've learned a lot from Leland. In fact, I now have this stand that's holding up my phone finally, because Leland helped me figure out that problem that I was having. And so there's a need and there's a space for the technical skills and how to write your business plan, but it's the deeper understanding of who you are and your ability to use your innate sense of empathy and compassion and intuitiveness to work and better work in the world. And this is what everyone needs right now. And this is why this classroom, I'm not really interested in the messages of saying, oh my gosh, we're going to make you an overnight millionaire, or we're going to turn you from 0 to super success, in 1 month. I don't believe in those things, because you can do that. You can go through those actions, but none of it changes who you are on the inside. We don't actively teach people how to grow internally, like you just said so beautifully, Arthie. We're missing the point. And as citizens, as teachers, as leaders, and especially as women on this planet right now, it is our responsibility, is our divine imperative to be teaching exactly this right now at this time. Because our schools are churning out students who don't have these skills. There are people out there in the world who are trying to, just build businesses that lack compassion. So I talked a little longer than I wanted to about you, but I adore you so much and I love what you're doing. So let's actually see if we have any questions. I would love to take a couple of questions for Arthie before we say farewell to Miss Arthie and bring on Tom, who's our next new mentor teacher we're introducing today. So everybody, amazing. Everybody's just saying you're amazing. So okay, Tom, I'm glad you're here. Just hang tight. Hit that request to join button. Hit it now, and then I'll bring you in when we're finished with Arthie. So Umar Farouk Mufti said, disrupt the prevailing norms in a smooth way. Yes, these are the kinds of questions we want you all to be asking. So, Arthie, do you want to take a stab at that question right now, or do you want?
What was the question?
The question is, how should a leader disrupt the prevailing norms in a smooth way?
Ooh, I love that question.
I know.
I do it all the time. That is one of the main things that I actually do when I walk into, I work with a lot of corporate companies here and internationally. And how I disrupt the place is when I walk in, they always have got stereotypes of what is a young woman going to teach us. And the beauty of that interaction, and I've had that for over 20 years, and remember, South Africa has just come out of apartheid as something that was ingrained in people's thinking. So they've got issues with dealing with a woman, they've got issues with dealing with a person of a certain culture, they've got issues of age and gender. So age, gender, and culture is a massive thing here still in boardrooms. So when we're talking about disrupting leadership in a smooth way, I found the only way to do that was for me to develop myself. So that when I walk in with full respect and full intention, not to upset people, but to guide them with my thoughtfulness and the way I interact with them. So I always come in with more experience, more knowledge, more wisdom on where they're at in their environment and how can I touch their lives. And that's about setting intentions. So if you want to do this in a smooth way, you go in there and know that the whole point of your interaction is to leave them feeling like you can change their mindsets and change the perceptions in their heads. So they're thinking, and what you want to do is to be able to touch their lives and make them realize the unconscious biases that they have or the stereotypes that they have limits their interaction in having other people contribute meaningfully to the conversation. So when you walk in there, it's not you're walking in as a man or a woman, as a culture or an age. You're walking there knowing that you are there to touch their lives in a positive way. So when you walk away, you've created change where they welcome it. Because when you go with the intention of these guys are always picking on us, or these leaders don't know what they're doing, or these leaders are the problem. No, it's your problem because you're thinking about them. They're not thinking about you. And if it's your problem, you now have the responsibility and the ability to take full responsibility to change your behavior and the way you communicate more effectively, so that you can help them to become more accountable. It's as simple as that.
Yes. And I'm so glad that you said that because, you know, there's so much talk now about how do we change the world? How do we build peace? How do we do this, that, or the other thing? And the answer is it always starts with yourself.
Yes.
And so this is where, I mean, in this entire classroom, but especially with what Arthie's going to be teaching on Saturdays, at 12 p.m. New York time, it's about you becoming the best you can be.
Yeah.
And from what Arthie just said, it's also about you learning how to be a student for your entire life and to never stop improving yourself.
Yeah.
So definitely tune in for her lessons, ask her questions, and just a reminder to those of you who are watching, all of the mentor teachers teach live for somewhere between an hour each week. And that schedule of when they teach is up at the top of the classroom page. Another easy way to get to the virtual classroom is just go to amycarriersclassroom.com and then check out that list. Each of your mentor teachers are tagged so you can follow them publicly, whatever they're sharing publicly on their personal page. And your mentor teachers come here to teach their expertise, to teach what they know extremely well. So these are people who are very, very good. They've already proven success. And where they're still learning something, they bring it in. I love watching Leland's lessons because he sometimes is figuring out things as he goes, and that helps the learner, the student, feel more connected to the instructor. And Arthie, you just said something a few minutes ago about that. As teachers, we're always learning and growing too. And I remember when I first started doing this very early on, the feedback I got was, ma'am, I really like what you're teaching, but it seems like you're just teaching and you're not actually, these weren't his words, but this is what I got out of it. I wasn't connecting as much with the audience. And that's what people want. And I was new to this whole online streaming and teaching online thing. So I learned from my students. And if you are watching one of Arthie's lessons after she's already been live, continue to add comments because I believe that Arthie will continue to answer those questions, comments.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I will share some amazing resources of things that I have learned, what's guided me, so that when people, whoever's commented in the boxes, gives me an opportunity to connect with them as well and give them some amazing links that they can go and look at after the lesson. Because the whole point is, how can we help you grow? How can we help you succeed in the different areas of your life? And let's learn from each other.
That's amazing. I'm so excited, Arthie. I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it was wonderful. Arthie got to meet the rest of the mentor team yesterday, including the other mentor teacher I'm hoping to be able to introduce to you today. And Tom, I don't see that you are on your mobile phone. That's the only way I can get you in here. So if you can tune in from your mobile phone, then I can actually invite you in, or you can hit that little add me button. So please take a minute to figure that out, if you would, please, Tom. If you want to know, you can tune in from your mobile phone, then I can actually invite you in. That happens to me all the time. I have I have 4 devices.
Well, I think my cell phone just kicked in.
Yes. All right, go Arthie's cell phone.
Yeah, double. It's double web.
Well, I mean, it's great that Facebook lets us do this. And Tom, just go ahead and comment again when you're here, and you can join us. Excuse my finger over the lens. All right, that's not working. So let me look here at the comments. So Tom, so there should be a request to join button, and I'm going to use this just really quickly. If you are on your mobile phone, Tom, you see these little green cameras? I know it's not really clear, but these are people I can actually invite to come on live, just like Arthie, who used her partner Jan's phone to do this. But I can't bring you on live unless you're on your phone. So I'm going to just spend a couple extra minutes here with Arthie. So yeah, as long, you don't even have to be, I'm on an iPhone. You don't even have to be on an iPhone because Arthie's on a Samsung, right?
Yeah, it's Android, yeah.
Android, okay. So you should be fine. Excuse my thumb again. Whoops. Okay, I think we got, yes, all right, we got it. So Miss Arthie, thank you so much. I'm going to bid you farewell. And will you be starting this coming Saturday? Or yes, when?
I can.
Yes?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll make time.
Definitely be there to learn from the incredible Arthie Moore. And I look forward to your lesson. I will be tuning in as well. All right. Take care, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for having me. And it's going to be an absolutely rocking, awesome time in our leadership classroom. Welcome, everybody. Right? You take care, and my love to Tom as well as the new mentor. So
yes,
new cool kid on the block.
All right, awesome. Arthie, enjoy your day, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, hon. All right, so hi, everyone. I'm super excited about all of this. This, for me, I'm like a kid in a candy shop today because I have the most incredible people who I have been courting in terms of getting them into my virtual classroom, and I have not one but 2 of them to introduce to you today. So Arthie Moore, who you just met, is tagged in the description of this video, so definitely click follow and follow what she's doing on her personal page, and tune in this Saturday at 12 p.m. New York time. And remember, you can easily use a time zone converter, which is included in the pinned post on Amy Carrier's classroom in the group, and convert all of the lesson times to where you are in the world. And if you're not awake, you can always catch and rebroadcast very easily. But for now, I'm super excited to bring in Tom Johnston because Tom is teaching my other passion. And my other passion is how to teach people how to build careers, and how to build careers that are meaningful, how to have the skills that are essential to get jobs, to keep jobs. This is something that everyone around the world needs, and that is also a universal language in this world. And it's something that Tom is doing all over the world as well. So let me bring him in here. Tom, hold on one second. Here we go. Tom Johnston. So I'm adding Tom here. You'll see him in just a minute. And please do say hello in the comments. Tom's going to introduce himself, and then I would love for you to be able to ask a question before he pops off as well, just like we did with Arthie. So hello, Maroon. How are you? Nice to see you here. Hey, there's Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hey, we're working on this. How are you?
I know, it's all brand new, isn't it?
I was sitting on my computer trying to dial in on my computer and it wasn't working. I'm
Yeah,
looking for that request button and I could not find it. But I think we're good. I think
good.
we're good here.
We are definitely good. Well, I can see you, and that means the rest of the world can see you right now. So,
We're going to
welcome.
have to get one of those little things to hold my phone up.
Yes, you do.
All right.
I have several, and thanks to Leland, I've got some solutions that actually work because I have some that don't work, but we can talk about that later. So,
All
Tom
right.
Moore, say hello to the world, and world, say hello to Tom Moore, Tom Johnson. My wires are crossing already.
All right.
So, Tom, I just did a quick intro while I was inviting you into this video, but I want to tell everyone that Tom, I'm super excited about Tom. I didn't find him through Facebook at all. So I think Tom reached out to me through LinkedIn because our work is so similar and there are a lot of overlaps outside of what I do in Amy Carrier's classroom. And I just said, all right, this is a guy who I want in the classroom, talking to the world, teaching what he knows for just 1 hour a week, like I've asked of so many other amazing souls all over the planet. And Tom agreed. And I'm so excited. And I'm actually not even going to try to describe what Tom does because I want him to tell you and I want him to amaze you with what he does and where he's doing it. So, Tom,
Okay.
why
All
don't you
right.
introduce yourself?
All right. This is awesome. And again, Amy, thank you. It's been, it's almost kind of a whirlwind, for the last few weeks we've been talking and, from the very first conversation to where it's evolved to, it just keeps getting more exciting. And you're doing a wonderful thing, and I'm really glad to be a part of that. So what I'm looking at really is I'm trying to do a couple of things. Reality, I'm not going to go through my whole story here, but I do a couple of things. Number one is I'm an executive recruiter. I'm a headhunter, and I help companies find talent, and they pay me big fees for it. I also started franchising my business about 12 years ago, and that's grown exponentially. We're at over 50 franchises and growing. So I help companies find the talent they need to grow. But as a franchisor, what I really do is I help people become entrepreneurs. And that's just a little bit different. And so I've done that, and I've been doing that for over 20 years with a couple of different companies. And it's a passion helping people build and develop their own business. And then about 7 years ago, I started doing some volunteer work, and I think we mentioned this, and it kind of tells the story. I went to my church and I offered to just do some career education. And there wasn't really a plan. The market was, if everybody remembers what the economy was globally 7, 8 years ago, it was a mess. And so I decided to just do some volunteer work to try to help a little bit. And actually, this is really cool. I do have to stop for a second. I shared this with some of the guys on Facebook, and I actually have a couple of guys I went to high school with that I haven't spoken to in a long time who are watching me. So I'm doing a shout out to Mike Kennedy, Mr. Wrestler. I've seen all the stuff. I've been watching you, Mike. We got to maybe catch up. Bob Crush, I remember the Pinto, but we'll talk about that later. But I'm seeing people dialing I haven't seen in a while. But anyway, so I decided to do this at my church, and again, I'm calling from Cleveland, Ohio, and sorry, I've got this kind of jury rigged here a little bit. I'll have it better next time. So when I went into the room, I didn't really have a plan, Amy. It was just go in and see if I can help. Obviously, if you're an executive recruiter and you help people find jobs, we're pretty damn good at that. It's how we make our living, preparing people for jobs, helping companies find companies. Careers is what we do. So I decided to just go in. I really didn't have a plan. I was kind of winging it. And when I got into the room, there were almost 40 people sitting there at 7 o'clock on a Thursday morning. And as I went around the room, my expectation was that there would be people there that were out of work. And there were some that had been out of work a week, a day, some couple of years. And they were very, they were frustrated. Everything that they were doing looking for a job didn't work. But as I went around the room, there were several other very specific groups there. There were people there that had jobs, but they either wanted a new job, a better job, a different job, had no idea where to begin. They didn't even know where to start. Sending resumes to the internet does not work. It's very frustrating. Many times it's just going to a big black hole that nobody ever responds to.
Right.
But then as I kept going around the room, I had people there that when I talked to them, there was a group of people that had a passion to be in their own business. They didn't know how to take an idea and take it from an idea into reality. But as a franchisor, I kind of knew how to do that a little bit. But then I also had a few other groups. I had a group there that I called them the Encore group, individuals that are in their late 50s, early 60s. I hate to say it now, but that's me. Bob Crush is older than me. So again, we're out there and they're looking for that one more job, that encore job.
Right.
But they're not looking for that 9 to 5 2-week vacation thing. They're looking for 10 to 2, Fridays and Mondays off, and 3 months in the winter to go to Florida when it gets cold.
Right.
I'm calling everyone from Cleveland. But then there were a few other groups. I had students. I had high school kids, college kids coming out of some of the best universities in the world, and they're not getting jobs. They thought, go in, get a degree, walk out, and everybody's going to hire you. That's not what's happening. A lot of the career counselors at high schools and colleges, they're still teaching 30-year-old techniques, methodologies. They're talking about sending resumes out on the internet. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
And then I had a final group of people. I had a mom who'd been out of the workforce for over 20 years. She had a phenomenal career prior to, but now she's coming back in after raising her kids, getting them off to on their own, and now not even know where to begin. And then I had a guy coming out of prison who, again, big challenges, not knowing what to do. And finally, I had a guy coming out of the service. And as I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, I've got an hour here. How am I going to help all of these people better manage? I need to get them all a job. Right. So what I decided to do was I got my kind of aha moment, and that was I'm just going to teach them everything I do as a recruiter. I'm going to teach them my methodologies, my techniques, teach them how to go from being a reactive job seeker to a proactive job hunter using the techniques and methodologies of the executive recruiter. Pretty simple. I just started doing what I do every day. I spend my entire time as a recruiter. I train recruiters. I train owners who want to be recruiters. So I decided to train everyone in that room on how to become a recruiter for themselves. Keeping in mind, an executive recruiter, if we place a candidate, typically we're getting 20 to 30% of their first year salary as a fee. So we actually raise that bar pretty high. I realize that if people are out of work, if they're coming back into the workforce, putting my fee on top of them is going to do nothing but make it even harder for them to get a job. So I have to teach them how to do it themselves. So that's exactly what we're doing. Yeah. So I started doing it and it worked. Surprisingly, it worked. I had people that have been out of work for several years getting interviews within a few weeks. And the techniques we teach is to very first identify really what you want to do. Right. When a recruiter calls a candidate, they don't call and say, hey, what do you want to do? We've got to know, what do you want to do? Where do you want to do it? What skills do you have that a client could potentially use? We've got to get detailed, and it's got to be real. So as we started doing this, it worked. From there, it just started spreading. People started hearing about what I was doing and coming to the program. I had other organizations coming and asking me to help, from the Cleveland Metropolitan School Districts, working with 10-year-old kids, to very senior level executives, and everywhere in between. We worked with high schools, colleges, alumni associations. The Cleveland Cavaliers, finally we have a championship team. Watching with envy what's going on yesterday, all Cleveland's worrying about is, what draft pick we're going to get for being the worst team in the NFL again. But, the Cavaliers did a program in the community. And so we started doing this. It really started working. We built a website. From there, more and more people started here. We've literally been touching thousands of people. But then what really accelerated where we are today and why you and I are talking is I got a phone call from a friend of mine who was doing some work with a nonprofit in Afghanistan who had been targeted to go in and deliver career education to 21,000 women in Afghanistan, and they needed some help. They needed a technology that was going to allow them to touch all of those people quickly. They also wanted to help people with entrepreneurship. So we talked, and it went from a conversation to a proposal to a contract where we won a contract to deliver career education to 21,000 women in Afghanistan, which is awesome. Amazing. So we had to completely redo our website. We've taken our old website and built it into a full-blown 9-course learning management program that we're going to walk everyone through on how to learn how to get a job. We're going to talk about what they ultimately want to do so we can target that education. We also have 15 today, and we're going to have as many as 20 women in Afghanistan that are opening up their own executive search firm, which is amazing.
Amazing.
So that rolling. From there, we have a second major group we're going after, including many individuals, which is the Department of Corrections here in Ohio. A friend of mine is involved in that. I became involved in it. Over the last 7 months, I've been training inmates that are going to be getting out of prison how to better target a career, a job, versus being handed 3 different options, fast food, maintenance, or drive a truck. Right. We're coming in and helping them figure out what they dream about, what they enjoy. The feeling is if we can get somebody a job they really like, it's going to just change their lives completely. Nothing's worse than getting up every day, spending all day doing something you really don't like to do.
Exactly.
I do have to call out because, I'm kind of learning through how to do this. I'm not prepared to respond to everybody on Facebook and be able to respond because I've got my phone sitting away from me. But I'll tell you, there's a guy on this program, and he's a friend of mine from 45 years ago who spends this entire day in a gym working out and teaching kids to become exceptional wrestlers. He's built a whole program around his passion for wrestling, which is absolutely awesome. Mike, every day when you put something up on Facebook, you're demonstrating to me that's what life is. Find something you love. And I was on the wrestling team. I sucked. Mike was much better than I was. But for years, it was something he really enjoyed. And now he's making a living at it, which is absolutely amazing. And then the third major group we got is a fraternity, a national fraternity here in the United States, Alpha Sigma Phi, who wants to do everything they can to help their members, their families, and their alumni realize that being part of fraternity is not just about parties and things like that. It's about building lifetime relationships and learning how to leverage them as you move through your career. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what I do. And so we're growing this. We've got a brand new website up that I am going to give everyone free access to. And I'm going to walk everyone through the steps necessary to figure out kind of what you want to do. Make sure it's realistic. We want to talk about not setting unrealistic goals and dreams, but something that's real that we can actually do, and then teach people how to get there. If everybody wants to look our website, www.myhuntpath.com. If you go up in the corner, the whole site turns to Dari past you, and then you can look at it in English. It's awesome, and we're going to continue to do more of that. And again, that's kind of real quick, Amy, what we want to do. But my goal is to teach everybody in the world how to better identify what they want to do and how they want to spend their days, and then show them how to get there. So that's it.
Awesome. I love it. It's just what you do. I feel like somehow there are actually 3 of you. You have like 2 spare Toms in your pockets or something. So much. And I'm so delighted to have you here because you are actively teaching. And I believe that this is a basic human right to know how to get a job. If we're going to live in a society where every human has to have a job in order to pay for food and housing and clothing, if that's going to be our reality on planet Earth, then we need to make it very clear and give it a way to tell people how to do this. Now, obviously, you and I still have day jobs and we have to make money from what we're doing, and we do. But giving this guidance, you know, just because you're saying, hey, I'll share it with everyone in Amy Carrier's classroom for free, there's still 8 billion other people in the world. But this is, you know, I have people who've said to me, why are you giving it away? Why aren't you charging for it? And I say, you know what? I'm not worried about the money. I will make my money. There are people who will pay for my expertise in other places. But I know how I grew up knowing none of this. And I had no idea where to even go to find this information. And this is why I've made this my life's work. Now, I'm very fortunate that somewhere in my late 20s, I actually figured out my life's calling, right, to do my life's work. And I feel like this is what every human being deserves. And I love, Tom, that you're doing this with everyone. You've identified the most disadvantaged communities. And I've worked with adolescents, young people in maximum security locked-up facility. I believe that we have to help people who have been incarcerated retrain and learn how to enter the world, how to enter workforce, how to sustain themselves. I won't even get into, you know, everything connected to that. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say is, you know, the interesting thing is, yes, we're working with, you know, women in a country at war, individuals in jail, and fraternity dudes. But the reality is, it's everyone. You know, right. I've worked with CEOs that have spent 30 years in a career and they're looking for something else and have no idea where to start. And so it really is everyone. And bottom line, years ago, when I first started recruiting, you know, we were taught, and I didn't agree with it, but we were taught that if you're talking to a candidate that you can't make money on, don't waste your time. Well, that never felt right. I just didn't do that.
Right.
And what I have found is, as you help people, it comes back down the road. You help somebody, and someday they're going to come back and help you. Maybe we're doing a search and we give them a call. You know, I'll give you a great story. I had a gentleman that had gotten laid off from his company, and he took some time off. He had gotten some compensation and all those things, but I stayed talking to him, and I had a relationship with him. And a year later, when he came back, he called me up and he said, Tom, I just got a new job. I'm going to be hiring a lot of people in an industry I had no experience in. And I said, well, why would you call me? He goes, Tom, you were the one who talked to me when I was out of work. You were the one who answered my calls. You and I are friends. I don't even know what the new industry is either, but we're going to learn together. So again, things do happen when you help people. And my goal is to help every single person in the world know how to better manage their career. When we were younger, we didn't have that. Companies controlled our career. You went out and get a big job with a big company. As long as you didn't do anything wrong, you would go through to retirement, you get a pension, and you'd enjoy your retirement. Well, that just doesn't exist today.
Right.
You have to have what's called individual career management. You got to manage your own career. No one's going to do it for you. And we've got to teach people how to do that. Average kids coming out of high school today, 14 to 18 jobs that they're going to have before they're retired. And that number is growing very, very quickly. If you don't know how to do it, more often than not, you're going to wake up going, how did I get here? I'm working, doing something I don't enjoy, in a city I don't want to be in, making money I think I deserve more. That's a horrible way. And what I have found, and the reason why we're doing the work in Afghanistan and the prisons, if you can give somebody a career versus a job that every day they get up, they actually enjoy, everything else becomes easier in your life. Your personal life, your health. You know, you can talk about all these wonderful things, which are great, faith and culture and all these great things, but you still have to find a way to make a living, to take care of yourself and your family. And if you can find something you enjoy, and we meet them every once in a while, Amy, where you find somebody who would do what they do for free because they love it so much.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. And that's what I dream for everyone. And even starting with little, 10-year-olds, what do they like to do? What do they enjoy? How can we build a career around their thoughts? I give one story that I love. This is my favorite story ever. And again, I don't know how much time I have, but just a few more minutes.
Yeah,
but I was doing this with 10 years old. What's that?
We've got a couple more minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'll give you my favorite career management story. So I was sitting there with a group of 10-year-old kids, And I talk to them about the difference between a job and a career. A job you do to get paid, a career is something you love to do and you enjoy. So I said, you got to think about things you love, things you enjoy. So kids were talking to me about what their passions are, their interests. And one little kid says to me, Mr. Johnston, he says, I love dirt. I go, excuse me? He goes, I love dirt. I love being outside. I love playing outside. He goes, if I'm dirty and my mom's yelling at me, I've had a great day. I love this kid. So I said to the group of kids, right, 10-year-olds, tell me what types of things this young man should be thinking about for his life. And they came up with engineering, construction, landscape, archaeology, geology. Oh, great.
Uh-oh.
Everyone can still hear me?
Yes, you're back now.
Okay. So,
Archaeology.
yeah, what happens? Something calls me on my phone, it goes to the phone. So, anyway, then all of a sudden, a young kid in the back of the classroom yells out, how about demolition? So this little kid's eyes lit up, and he said to me, Mr. Johnston, I can get paid to blow stuff up? I said, absolutely. You can make a lot of money doing that. But then I said, all right, as a kid, 10 years old, what do you have to do to pursue these things? And I said, you've got to talk to people. Ask these people around you in your life what they do, what they like about it, what they don't like about it. Right. Talk to them, join, if your mom's putting a garden in, go out and help her. If everybody around you is complaining and thinking it's work and you're having fun, circle it, pursue it. If you don't like it, cross it off. But then continue to do those things. If there's an archaeology club in high school, join it. And if there isn't one, start one. Find out if laying in the desert looking for bones with a toothbrush and 120-degree heat gets you excited. And if it does, we'll pursue it. And I said, and then we've got to be real. I said to that little guy, I said, listen, if you don't get the straight A's in chemistry, we are absolutely not going to allow you near anything that can blow up. So let's be real. Science and chemistry isn't your best subject. We're going to look at other things. And we're going to teach them, just start thinking about this.
Right.
And time to look at what you want to do with your life isn't after you've already invested sometimes thousands and thousands of dollars in a degree. And then you wind up having that. And then all of a sudden we talk about getting a job. No, we've got to do that beforehand and start thinking about those things and explore. And that's kind of the whole core to our program. Regardless of where you are in the world, I'll try to help you. I didn't mention this, but we've got offices in Afghanistan. I've got an office in Beirut, Lebanon. I've got one in London. We just opened one in Peru. We've got another guy here in Cleveland who's going to spend half his time in Greece. So we're growing globally. And, so we've got a lot of really cool things going on. So it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to help.
That's amazing. All right, everyone. You see why I brought this guy in? He's amazing. And what he's teaching about, this is what I teach about in my private coaching. It doesn't matter if my client's 55 or 17. It always goes back to what makes you most excited and what were you most curious about and what did you love to do when you were a little kid. I did a 3-minute video. I got on my YouTube channel, mini lessons, 3 minutes long. I did one of my weekly lessons on this. And it always goes back to what excites you. If money were no object, what would it be? And this is exactly what Tom is talking about. So I'm so excited. I am delighted that you're here, Tom. I am honored that you're here and you're going to be bringing in your tons of knowledge and expertise and your resources. Now you're going to be teaching in Amy Carrier's classroom on Fridays at noon, 12 p.m. New York time.
Correct.
You've got actually a really interesting way to start off. So those of you who are interested in learning from Tom, we're just going to give you a tiny little nugget right now because we've gone over a few minutes. But Tom is going to start by doing an intensive set of courses. So his courses, his training course, it sounds like it's a total of 10 hours, but he's actually going to condense it. And doing this in conjunction with teaching tons of women in Afghanistan. So come in and you can learn everything Tom's going to teach. It sounds like 2 weeks. He's going to do 2 3-hour sessions right now. That's the planning. And those 2 3-hour sessions will be 2 consecutive Fridays at 12 p.m. New York time. Tom will promote it. He'll write about it in the classroom. He'll give you more details. And Tom, I'm assuming you already said you're going to give people the login information for the website.
Yeah.
If there are materials, upload those in the classroom.
Sure. We're moving a little quick here, but things evolved from our meeting yesterday, kind of just introducing me to the other mentors. I reached out to my contacts in Afghanistan and asked if this would be something that we can leverage through that program. And what I found is we don't have emails from many of the women, but almost 70% of the women in Afghanistan are on Facebook.
Wonderful.
So this is an awesome way for us to get the word out, to get the messaging out. And we need a little bit of time to coordinate it and then to market it to make sure that we can get the information to everyone. But we'll work through this whole thing, and we're looking forward to putting this all together. Need a little bit more time. You're moving fast, Amy, but I'll catch up to you quick. I guarantee it.
Whenever you're ready, because you move fast, we're here for you. And actually, I'm going to read you a couple comments. We don't have to go into questions, but I'll just tell you. Shamil Shah says, this dude got energy. There was someone else who said, so Abbas Ali Habibi said, great, how can I be part of this system? I am in IT business from Pakistan. Abbas, make sure you join amycarriersclassroom.com, and then you will be able to have access to everything Tom is doing. There was another really great comment. Oh, Nasir, I love this question. I'm just gonna throw it out to Tom. He can talk about it later when he starts to go live. Nasir said a question for Tom. Have you worked in the military before? Your speaking style is very motivational. So I'll leave that with the final comment on Tom, and say, Tom, I'm so delighted to have you here. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who has been watching. Be sure that you join Amy Carrier's Classroom. Just go to amycarriersclassroom.com. It'll take you directly to the Facebook group. You must have a Facebook profile photo, your name written in English, and you must answer the 3 questions that you're asked. After you hit join, 3 questions will pop up. They say required. That means you won't be approved until you answer those questions. It's pretty cheap tuition for a free classroom, for a free, at this point, it's been called a university because we have 12 teachers, so 12 hours a week of live, free, extremely valuable content being taught. And Tom,
perfect.
I'll just reiterate, Tom is right now, it's going to take him a few weeks to get up and get started. Hello, Miss Takwa. How are you? He will start probably in 2 to 3 weeks. Just stay tuned. Once you're in the classroom, you'll see his market, and he'll say, this is when I'm starting. Be sure to join live. Go to this website. Use this password. Download this document, whatever needs to be done before you start. But I want you to think of what Tom's doing here as a free workshop. This is much more intensive than a 1-hour lesson. This is a workshop. So carve out the 3 hours. And I know for some of you, especially in India and Pakistan and the UAE, starting at 12 p.m. New York time means that you would actually go probably till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So Tom may actually start those longer lessons a little bit earlier in the day. We'll see. That's up to Tom.
You can look at that. Plus, it's recorded, correct?
Yes, it's recorded. You can always go back and watch it later. Absolutely. So thank you, Tom. Thank you, Miss Arthie. I am so delighted to have you here. And I'll just tell you all that it's been so amazing doing this today. We've been in talks, the other mentor teachers and I have been in talks about doing something similar to reintroduce all of them to you. So I think that's what my Monday lessons are going to be spent doing for the next couple of months, is reintroducing you to all the amazing mentor teachers who are here. If you think this was valuable today to actually learn, meet your mentor teachers live, please leave that in the comments for me. Please let us know what you think about these 2 new instructors today, and be sure to share this. This will absolutely be valuable to you to build your career, to either start a business or figure out a way to build a meaningful career for yourself, and all learn how to be a compassionate leader with Arthie. So Tom, real quick, 30 seconds, last word you want to share?
This is a program, a workshop, where I can guarantee you at the end of it, you will know what you want to do, and you'll have the real tactics and techniques to pursue that for the rest of your life. We're going to put something out there that's going to change your life. Invite everybody on. It's important. Everybody needs to find a way to spend their day to earn a career. That's what it's all about, and we'll help you with it. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see how fun this is going to be, doing this all over the world at one time. So again, and I'll do anything I can to help everyone.
Thank you, Tom. We're so excited to have you here. Thank you so much. You and I will talk more.
Thanks, Amy.
But enjoy the rest of your day, and take good care. Tell all of your wrestling buddies to join the classroom too. There's lots they can learn there too.
We'll get them all in there. See you later, guys. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Tom. Take care. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you found this valuable. Again, I'm Amy Carrier. You can join my free virtual global classroom right here on Facebook. It's a group. You can go to facebook.com/groups/Amy Carrier's Classroom, or if it's easier, you can just go to amycarriersclassroom.com. I am Amy Carrier. You can follow me publicly here on Facebook. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Amy Carrier Empowers. But all of my social media links are right there on my personal page, which is where I'm broadcasting this from live today. I'm honored and delighted to have you all here, and thank you for all the great comments. Leila, Elizabeth Perez, Oliveri, thank you all so much. Nasir, this wasn't a day that we had much extra time to take comments or questions. Takwa, I'm so glad you're here. Rebel, Zafran, Chachi, Rosnia, Ismail, Umar Farouk, thank you all so much for being here. And be sure to tune in. I am live every Monday at this time, 1 p.m. New York time. And go check out the classroom. There's lots of cool stuff for you there right now. So thank you to everyone. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.